All right, the other day I did a video called 12,000. Today I'm doing a video called 45,000. 45,000. Based on the same rhetoric, same principles, same diatribe I went on the last time I was here. If this number is true, people, and here's why I get to 45,000. Apparently, a whistleblower has come forward. And the whistleblower says in one reporting station, they've actually seen the data themselves. The data that's being hid, the data that's being suppressed. And by the way, there are 11 or 12 reporting stations across the country, and 45,000 represents one. So if you extrapolate and you do the math, you're looking at about 500,000 people. All right, so we had this thing last year where we were told 500,000 people, kept growing and growing. And what's weird about that is typically within a year, they accumulate all these stats. But guess what? New year, they didn't stop for last year and then restart for the new year, because that's typically what they do, right? It's 2020 and then 2021. And you would thankfully say, okay, 2020 is over, so we're going to restart the clock basically and record from January 1st. Well, that's not what they did. They continued to pile on those numbers. Now, if the 45,000 number is correct, and that began sometime in December, right, of last year, and has continued, and that is 1/12 of the actual number, most likely. So again, you're looking at 500 or 600,000 people. That's worse than all of last year, and we're in July right now. So what needs to be done? Well, first of all, an investigation. Secondly, if this is true, then nothing else you care about really matters at this point. Nothing else you could be pro First Amendment, Second Amendment, Fourth Amendment, 10th Amendment. You could be for Medicare for all. You could be for force to vote. You could be, no matter where you are on the political spectrum. It's like you're walking down the street, you got your gun, you drop it, and you're like, crap, or maybe you don't drop it. Maybe that analogy is flawed. Maybe you pick it up instead. The point I'm trying to make, people, is that if we don't focus on the problem and understand that this ain't conspiracy theory stuff, this ain't tinfoil hat nonsense. Got a bit of a storm here, so I'm just going to keep going. There's a storm everywhere, actually. It's a metaphor, right? Even the weather outside shouldn't really be an issue for you if you know what's going on across the country. Those of you who care about climate change, you're laughing at me. You're saying nothing is more important than that. And I'm saying freedom, liberty, the right to exist. How's that one? Is that in the Constitution? Do I have the right to exist as a human being? Because, again, this whole generation has rewired the psyche of everybody, and apparently we're all expendable. We're all expendable. And it doesn't seem anybody really gives a crap. And if I say 45,000, you're going to say, okay, where'd you get the number? Well, there's a whistleblower that's come forward and works in one jurisdiction, and apparently there are 12 reporting stations. You'll have to do some Googling or some DuckDuckGoing. I would recommend the DuckDuckGo, because you might have better luck with that. I might recommend a different browser than Google. All I'm saying is that there's information out there and you can find it to validate what I'm saying. Now, if it's true, right? If the 45,000 number is true and then you extrapolate, you're looking at over 500,000 people in the United States. That's genocide. That's pure there's no other word for it. Now, if I'm wrong and you think I'm a conspiracy nut and I've got a tinfoil hat on, okay, I'll be the first to tell you. I'm glad. You know what? I hope I'm wrong. Here's that. I hope I'm wrong. And the only reason I kind of sandbag this information is because I don't want to talk about this, because I'm thinking, nah, these are just a bunch of wackos that are taking advantage of a dysfunctional government that can't actually promote what they're doing while instilling confidence, because they don't. If anything, it's just the opposite. They instill fear. So I'm here just to posit some information and to be as vague as possible so you can go and look into it and I can remain on this platform. 45,000. And that's either 1/10 or 1/12 of what's actually occurring. And that's it. That's all I got. And I think we're literally in the darkest time, at least in the modern era of human history. Just the darkness is overwhelming. And if we don't get busy, it's going to get a lot darker. Anyway, I'm done with this video.